Let's get you guys all caught up with the news and storylines from the 124th U.S. Open. Live from Pinehurst, North Carolina, New York Post sports columnist Mark Cannizzaro joins us. Mark, I hope you like that intro, man. Thanks for hopping on with us. We've seen a bunch of guys make it through their first 18 holes. How's the course playing? You think that things are going to ramp up as the weekend progresses?
I mean, the course has been playing hard all week, Brandon, but it's going to get more and more difficult as the week goes on. There's not any rain expected, which would soften things up. It's going to get firmer, more firm and more treacherous around the greens. Obviously, the big talk, as it always is around here at Pinehurst, is the kind of inverted teacup, kind of humpback greens, which are very, very difficult for the players to hold with their approach shots. And, when the greens are harder and faster, it's even more difficult, obviously, to hold them. And you got guys putting off of greens and things like that. There hasn't been a ton of carnage today. I mean, there's been a couple big numbers, but, a good example really today is Tiger played very well off the tee, but his approach game to the greens was not good. I mean, he only hit 9 out of 18 fairways in his round, which is just not enough. You have to hit the ball in the middle of the green and just, two putt and maybe make your occasional birdie. And he didn't do that today.
Do you think Tiger can kind of come back from that, or do you think he just put himself in too much of a hole to possibly make the cut?
Oh, I think he can make the cut, Brandon, because, I mean, there's going to be, I don't know what, the numbers are without looking at the scoreboard at the moment, but, 4 over par is not, doesn't it ruin the week for him? But I think it's too far for him to come back and really contend. But I never really expected him to contend this week anyway. But, at this point, he's 9 shots off the lead. And this is a golf course that does not give up a lot of birdies. You're not going to see guys, putting 6 or 7 birdies, down and shooting 65. We have 165 today. Patrick Cantlay's leading, and Ludwig Oberg, who's a fascinating young guy, 22-year-old guy who is literally, I mean, he's going to be a superstar. He shot 66. You don't have a lot of low numbers out there today, and today is as easy as the course is going to play all week.
When we saw a tweet that said Tiger was #1 on the leaderboard. That didn't last that long. I was just sitting there like the movie Dumb and Dumber. So you're saying there's a chance, but has there been any big surprises to you so far?
The problem with that tweet that you saw, Brandon, was it was after 1 hole. He had 17 more holes to play. So he did birdie his first hole and got off to a good start, and then slowly bled that away a little bit with some bogeys. But, surprising-wise, I'm just kind of looking. I mean, I mentioned Oberg, who's a young European. He played on the Ryder Cup team last September, had not even played the major championship before. His first major was at the Masters in April. First career major, and he performed very well there, and he played extremely well just today. I mean, I think he hit every fairway today, and he hit 16 out of 18 greens today, which is remarkable in these conditions on this golf course. So he's a guy that is absolutely somebody to look forward to and watch. A couple of guys I'm surprised on the back end, on the bad end, I should say. I actually thought that Phil Mickelson, not that I thought he was going to contend to win, but I thought that this course set up well for him because it's all about the short game and the creativity around the greens, which he's so good at. He shot 79 today, which was shocking to me. And Justin Thomas, who's been kind of trying to get himself back into form, he shot a 77. So, I mean, those are 2 guys that, who are veterans and I would have thought would have performed better today. So those were a couple of surprises on the lower side of the board for me so far.
At the time we're doing this interview, we're still waiting for the big 3 to tee off. We're talking about Rory, McIlroy, Scottie Scheffler, and Xander Schauffele. 3 guys who are hungry for another major. They're all in the same group this afternoon, Mark. So how do you see this tournament playing out for these 3 guys?
Yeah, I mean, I expect all 3 to play well. I mean, Scottie has been unstoppable. He's the #1 player in the world, and he separates himself every week. Each of them has his own narrative, if you will. I mean, Rory is looking for his first major championship victory in 10 years, and he's been in good form. And you got Xander Schauffele, who just won his first career major championship last month at the PGA at Valhalla. I'm curious to see how he performs in his, in the first major after winning one. A lot of times these talented players like Xander, it propels them to more, and it gives them more confidence going forward in the major championship. So that's a fascinating group to watch. I will probably, as soon as I get off this video with you, I will be out walking with those guys this afternoon, and it's going to be pretty cool theater to witness.
Final thoughts for the 124th U.S. Open, Mark. What are we missing? What do we need to keep an eye on for this weekend?
I think one of the things to keep an eye on is, as I mentioned kind of at the top, Brandon, is, and Tiger referenced this actually in his pre-tournament press conference. He predicted that whatever the leading score was on Thursday after the first round, it would the final result of the final score under par, in this case 5 under with Cantlay, will be no better than that. So this is going to get more difficult. It's going to get more challenging and more stressful for all these guys. I don't expect the winning score by the end of the week to be any better than what Patrick Cantlay's sitting on right now at 5 under, because the course is playing as easy as it will all week. And, the greens will get harder. They'll get faster. It'll get a little more crispy out there. It's very hot. It's supposed to be almost 96 or so degrees tomorrow. It's already like pushing 90 today. It's been hot all week, so it's pretty steamy out here. So I think that, that's something to look for. But that's what the U.S. Open's all about. The winning score is almost always somewhere around par. Last year was a bit of an anomaly in L.A., which was, the L.A. Country Club was playing a little bit easier than usual, but usual U.S. Open courses. But I would look at that, and listen, you look at the big guys, the three you just mentioned. I'm still, Bryson DeChambeau is another guy I've got my eye on this week. He played really well as a runner-up at the PGA in Valhalla, and is running with a lot of confidence right now. He's playing in the afternoon as well right now, so there'll be some good stuff to watch as the weekend goes on. But I think that winning score is going to be no better than it stands right now with Patrick Cantlay at 5 under.
All right, Mark, enjoy the weekend and the tournament, and thanks for taking the time to hop on with us.
Thanks, Brandon.